Colin Kaepernick exercises his right not to vote. The Chargers' future is still in limbo. And we make our cases for the NFL MVP. All of this and more up next on Sports Weekly.
You are tuned into Black Hollywood Live, Sports Weekly.
My president is black.
My Lambo's blue. I'll be goddamn if my rims ain't too.
I have never heard the song.
Never? You never heard this song? Are you serious? We've been here for the last 8 years.
This was angry.
Really?
Charlie's president ain't black.
Clearly. Hashtag he's Kenyan. Guys, you're watching on Sports Weekly every Thursday night at 7 o'clock. I'm Erica Renee Davis. You can find me on Instagram, Insta Story, and on Twitter at Erica Renee D.
Hey guys, this is Charlie Myers. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Hashtag not my president.
My president is still black. I'm Joshua Johnson. Find me on social media anywhere at JJ the Talented.
And I'm Josh Rodriguez. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh_Rodriguez_.
And as always, follow all things Black Hollywood Live on BlackHollywoodLive.com. Follow us on Twitter at BHL Online. Follow us on Instagram at The Sports Weekly. Okay, let's just jump right into it. We have a lot to talk about. A lot. We've been semi-debating since before we even went live. So sports gets political. This has been a week like no other in our lives, at least I would say. Presidential election. We have a new president-elect, Donald J. Trump. Congrats to him. But let's tie it into sports before we get into our own opinions about the election. I'm trying to choose my words carefully.
I can see that. I see you like tiptoeing over every single word.
Choose my words very carefully. So Colin Kaepernick started his national anthem protest in August during a preseason, or September during a preseason, August during a preseason game by kneeling and saying that he didn't want to stand for a flag that did not represent the ideals of what his black people's struggles are. And then fast forward to this week, he did not vote. And when a reporter asked him, he didn't want to lie. He said, I didn't feel like I needed to vote because both candidates were poor choices and both of them are liars and neither of them would be good for black people and propelling for the plight of blacks. Voting, not voting, Kaepernick, does his decision to not vote make his national anthem protest seem all for naught?
It's all for naught now.
Oh, wow.
For me, if you're not going to vote and have an opinion about what is going on in this world, especially right now, you have no right to say what you're going to say. No right. I'm going to say that again and again. I hope that he throws 1,000 interceptions and every throw that he passes is incomplete. He is gone out of my mind. I think that they should not cover him anymore. Nothing.
You sound like Stephen A. Smith.
Okay, yeah, Stephen A. Smith. Charlie A. Myers.
Hey, I agree. I agree with Stephen.
He definitely, put a hole in the bucket, man. I think water now is leaking out of his argument because I can see that he has the right to vote or not to vote, but when you're standing up for a cause such as he's standing for, I think it behooves him to be an example for other people because in his position, he has people that look up to him. He's somewhat aspirational as a football player, as a public figure. But if other people have that same mentality as he does, that's bad news. And I hope to God he didn't encourage other people not to vote. Do you know if he did or not?
Well, I mean, but just releasing that statement and telling the truth about how he didn't vote, whether or not he actively encouraged people not to vote, his not voting encourages people not to vote.
Like you said, I can't. So I think a lot of people now, no matter what side of the fence they sat on with his original argument, I think he loses steam now. People are not going to take him seriously because when he had the option and the opportunity to go there and make his voice heard in a positive democratic way, as such, our country is free that way. We can go and make our voice heard.
It was free until
regardless
Tuesday.
of the electoral college and regardless of popular vote and all that stuff. He had the chance, and when you have ancestors who fought and died for that right, I think you need to. I think you need to go ahead and vote. And yeah, that's my take on it.
J. Rod, what you say?
Not having an opinion and not voting are not the same thing.
Okay.
You cannot vote. That is your opinion. You can choose and say, I don't like this candidate. I don't like this candidate. They don't represent me. I refuse to vote for them. I am perfectly fine with him not voting. It doesn't take anything away from his message. It doesn't change his message. Voting has nothing to do with his message. In fact, it actually strengthens his message more, saying, listen, this country does not stand for me. You put 2 candidates in front of me who do not represent me. I refuse to vote for 2 candidates who do not represent me.
But one of those candidates represents you a little bit more than the
right.
other one. One of those poor choices was a bit less poor than the other one. And you had a chance with one candidate who would actually probably fight for more of your causes. But now with one who's left, he's not going to fight for you. He's not going to stand up for your causes.
You think Hillary would?
I think so.
She would try.
I think so.
And I think a lot of black people were holding this agenda against the Clintons for the super predator laws that imprisoned a lot of black young African American men.
It did hurt.
In the early '90s. And listen, and so I get that, and so here's the thing, and I'm going to say this. So I know we pick at politicians for flip-flopping, and I don't think I've ever said this publicly, so this is really big for me. I was raised in Georgia, Bible Belt South. And even though my parents never told me that 2 men, 2 women shouldn't be married, but it was just kind of like just an unspoken thing in the South. Yeah. So when I moved here and that ballot was on the measure, that was a ballot measure, I'm pretty sure I don't think I voted in favor of gay marriage at first.
Because at the time,
because at the time I had just moved from Georgia, I was still in that Bible Belt mentality,
it's different
and
mindset.
I consider myself to be even then pretty socially liberal. So I'm I'm telling the world right now that the first opportunity that I had to vote in favor of gay marriage, I did not. But X amount of years later, I'll be damned if you mistreat my LGBTQ friends. I'll be damned if you tell me that homosexuals, LGBTQ don't deserve the same rights as you or me. So I'm saying to you, the Clintons effed up majorly in the early 90s with the super predator laws that imprisoned black men for years for minor offenses. But people's thought processes evolve. You're gonna hold that against her forever? You're gonna hold that against the Clintons forever?
But how could you? I'm not saying you. Listen, there are people, and I am one of those people who just don't trust a single word she says. She's flipped on gay marriage. She's the super predator comment she's had. Let's be honest. She's not a trustworthy candidate.
Because she's changed her mind.
Everybody. Okay.
Now to you, she changed her mind. To me, she's pandering.
Okay.
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 But then again, Colin Kaepernick and everyone else also has other candidates they can choose to vote for.
That is true.
Regardless of whether they're going to win or not, which they're not. But
the Garrett Johnsons, the Jill Steins.
It still puts. I think it takes a step forward. Hopefully, in the future, we can have more choices and more political parties represented.
Okay.
In a more visible light.
Can I say this about? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Charlie.
No. All I was gonna say is, and it's your right not to vote.
It is your right not to vote.
But at the same time, I think that it should be required in the near future
to vote.
The reason being is because if you want your voice to be heard and you're saying your opinion, I know that you're saying that they're completely different.
Yes.
You have no credit when you're saying, "Oh, I haven't voted for this, but I have an opinion on these two." It just doesn't make any sense to me when you're saying, "Hey, I want there to be a change," and then you haven't voted on that change.
I disagree still, because that to me, not voting is a vote. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
I
there's
get what
still
you're
other ways to change the world without casting a vote.
Well, but the
problem,
and one of them is taking a knee during the national anthem. One of them is protesting, even though you didn't vote of the result of the election.
And this is Erica said this before the show. If more and more people hear you say that, it's going to be more and more involved, and then that 46% that did not vote, this is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it won't matter at all, and then we're going to be slaves from
now, to your point, I think
maybe
does this analogy make sense? But I'm thinking not taking a shot is a lot different than missing a shot, right?
Okay.
Because at least you took the shot, but not voting, making that a vote, I don't understand that.
I think it's a way of having your voice heard, saying, "Listen, I don't like this candidate. I don't like this candidate. This is BS, and I refuse to take part in this."
But you can't win.
Okay,
you can't win that way.
I want to jump in and say this. We get so belabored on the point of voting for the president, but what about the senators and your city councilmen? There's so many other people on the down ballot.
Even your own city.
Your own municipalities, like the people who lead your own little communities. Voting for those people is probably more important than voting for the president, because those leaders have a direct impact on your taxes, on marijuana being passed, on whether or not porn stars wear condoms, on whether or not the death penalties get commuted for people who've been in prison for forever, XYZ. So it's the local representatives.
And I agree.
And that's what you miss out on
No,
when you don't
I do
vote.
agree, but people act as if voting is your only opportunity and the only way that you can express yourself in a way to make change, and it's not.
It's not. But it's one of your most important.
I'll say that it is, yes. And I say people who don't vote, they do miss out on an opportunity to have their voice heard if that's it. I can't. I'm trying to explain myself. Not voting is saying something. Silence speaks volumes. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
But in this political climate, such as we are in, I think it was so important that everyone who could vote voted.
Even if you live in a very blue state.
I think so,
very red
because
state.
people might make the argument, before the show, you made this argument. Our vote doesn't count. But like Eric was saying, like I was thinking also, is that when more people have that mentality,
right,
it gets more detrimental. Your vote does count. Your vote is a voice. I don't
No, it is a
subscribe
voice.
to the theory that my one vote doesn't count.
No, your vote is a voice, but your non-vote is also a voice.
Okay.
That's my point.
We're going to move on to Doc Rivers, about the nonviolent anti-Trump protest that happened in Los Angeles last night, also in Chicago, New York, but particularly last night in LA, because we're here in LA, and the Clippers were playing a game at Staples Center in downtown LA, and Staples is in downtown LA, and about 3 miles from the Staples Center, a nonviolent protest, anti-Trump protest began. And after the game, a reporter asked Doc Rivers, the Clippers head coach, what he thought about it. And he did go on to say that he had played golf with Donald Trump, that he's somewhat acquainted with him, and he actually used the words, "I know Donald Trump." But he did say about the protesters, this is the American way. So basically, Doc Rivers said that he supported the protesters' right to speak out against the president-elect. But then you look at, more conservative media outlets, or even Twitter, if you will, people who are supporting Trump are saying that these protesters are in the wrong because our democracy worked. It worked. Like, he won fair and square. So considering that this is such a polarizing topic right now, and that Doc Rivers is A, black man, B, an NBA head coach, should he have taken a more neutral stance about something that is such a hot topic right now?
Did he vote? No, I'm kidding.
Did you vote?
I'm glad. I don't think he should have been neutral. I'm glad he was neutral. I mean, our democratic process did work, but it doesn't stop my or your democratic process to keep working and say that I can protest.
Yeah.
That's still democracy. You can protest as much as you want, and it is America. Other countries do it too. It's our right to protest, and for him to stay silent on it, I think would be. I mean, it's his opinion, but I think it would be dumb if he stayed silent on it. I think he can say that it was a fact.
Yeah, and I think we talked about this previously, but I feel like there is always a lose-lose situation for these protesters that are out there. They do a peaceful protest and they get scrutinized, and then if they were rooting in the streets, they would call them thugs. I think you said. So that I feel like he did the right thing to say that it is your right to do this. And I hope there's more of this. You have the right to have a peaceful protest. As long as there's no violence going on, then I'm completely fine with it, and I'm glad that he is too.
J-Rod.
Everything he just said, I agree with. I mean, I think that it's good that he's speaking out.
Yeah.
I think it's good that when any public figure speaks out, and it's part of our democracy to protest whatever you want. And if it was on the other side too, if I didn't like what they were protesting for, I'd still say, you know what, this is America, you're allowed to protest. So
the only thing that I hate about it is that it's on my way back home.
Oh yeah.
So if I may have need a place to stay tonight.
Right.
If any of you guys watching, I may need to head over to your apartment for a little bit.
They shut the 101 down last night.
Like Erica says, and a lot of times it's because our parents are from that era where they had protests and sit-ins, but sit-ins and protests and all that kind of thing were the reasons that probably we're here today.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure that took a lot of criticism back then.
And you just proved my point. They're the reason why we are here today, and it had nothing to do with casting a vote.
Oh, see that? No, that's
We couldn't vote.
So different.
J-Rod.
We weren't allowed to vote.
The reason. Wait, so you just said the reason that we're here today, it has nothing to do with
No,
casting
no, you
votes?
misunderstood what I'm saying. Maybe I misspoke, or maybe you misunderstood what I was saying.
Okay, let me know.
We wait.
Clarify.
Protests, sit-ins, they produced change.
Okay.
They allowed They made progress happen. They made progress so you guys are able to vote. There's other ways to make progress without voting. That was my point. If I misspoke, I'm sorry.
And no one's disputing that.
Yeah.
But voting makes change too.
Yes, I'm not disputing that either.
And so we're both right. There's
Cool.
there's no disputing. That
Sorry if I misspoke.
Voting is effective.
We can agree to disagree.
Yeah, voting is effective.
So
Yeah.
So Doc Rivers did the right thing. We agree on that, at least, to not remain neutral. And just to give Doc credit, he was very adamant about making sure all of his players were registered to vote. He was very adamant about making sure that if they were not in their home states, they had absentee ballots filled out. And he also said today that even though he's not happy with the outcome of the election, that he thinks that we should give Donald Trump a chance. But before we move on
already said that too.
of course he has to. I do want to get like really quickly like your personal how, because this has been a major week, and I know sports is always paramount when it comes to this show. But just really quickly, I want to hear get your thoughts on how you feel, how you're coping, or if you're happy, if you're hopeful.
Me and Josh were talking about this before the show. I have to take this with a grain of salt right now, because he has not done anything yet. And we have to give him a chance, like you said.
Doc Rivers said. I didn't say that.
So, yes, and agree. I'm in an agreement with all of you that I don't believe he should be our president right now. But we also have to see what he does from here on out. I hope that he takes opinions. He listens to people. He listened to Obama today, hopefully, and says, okay, I'm going to have my views, but I'm also going to take in good information from both sides of the party. So that's why I'm saying take it with a grain of salt, give him a chance. If he fails, then let's impeach him. That's all I got to say.
JJ.
I'm surprised by the outcome. But like Charlie is saying, I'm hopeful. That's all I can really hold on to right now, is just the hope that he performs better than I expect him to, that I think he will. The hope that something turns out for the better, because judging by the rhetoric of his speeches before the election, and just seeing him as a person and his influence and what he's saying, it doesn't look promising. But I'm just hoping for the best.
I changed my cover photo on Facebook. I changed my cover photo on Facebook the day after the election. I tried not to be emotional. I just try to put out facts or pictures that represent how I feel. So I have a screenshot of the cover photo that I changed on my Facebook, and it says, the meme says, if you vote for Trump today, make sure to explain to your LGBTQ, your female, your black, your Latino friends, your Muslim friends why they don't matter to you. And then a girl that I went to University of Georgia with, a white girl, Trump supporter, obviously educated, she's actually a doctor, commented in the section underneath the cover photo, and the very first thing that she said was, this is the kind of divisive rhetoric that I don't like. And if you guys can just pause for a second and see the irony in that. You are upset about divisive rhetoric in a Facebook cover photo, but yet you supported a candidate who said that Mexicans mostly are gangsters and rapists and drug addicts. This cover photo is divisive to you, but yet you are supporting a president who wants to do a religious litmus check to get all Muslims out of the country. This cover photo is offensive to you, but yet you have a president-elect who wants to enforce stop and frisk for African-American men. This is offensive to you, but this is the same president-elect who said that he's famous enough to grab women by the pussies and you're a woman. So just the irony in that I find troubling. I will support his administration because I do believe in the dream of America, but I also think that as we're moving forward, people need to be honest with themselves. We have a softcore porn star for our first lady.
Yep.
And that is in complete antithesis of what Bible Belt Christian values are. So just be honest with what we're actually dealing with. Support your candidate, but just be honest with what you supported.
Mic drop. For real. That's what I have to say. I mean, the thing that bothers me the most is that Republicans swear that he's a Republican. He's not a Republican. I have a lot of friends back home who are Republicans who are sharing articles like, I'm a Republican, I stand. Like, no, you don't. That's not what he is. And it kind of confuses me.
He's a racist bigot.
I don't, like I said, I do think that we have to protest. I do think that we have to have our voices heard in other ways. It's not okay. His rhetoric is not okay, and especially if he continues to tweet things that he tweets.
He's tweeted tonight
against people who don't support him. I mean, he's going against what he said when he won the election. I didn't even listen to the speech. I didn't want to hear a single word that he said. He absolutely disgusts me. But
Our new president. Okay, well.
Well, we're all charged up.
Yeah, we are. So some other initiatives were voted on Tuesday, and one of them was whether or not the San Diego Chargers are going to be San Diego Chargers anymore. Talk to us about that, Charlie. What say you?
So
they switch topics like this.
Yeah, just right into it. San Diego has voted that the Chargers are not going to get a new stadium in San Diego. I think they needed 3/4 of the vote, and they did not get it. They were looking to tax out more for people that are staying in hotels in San Diego. So they were going to tax the people that were visiting. I'm a little shocked that it didn't pass.
This is your team too.
Yeah, this is my team. I'm a little shocked that it didn't pass. I would think because San Diego fans are very good fans. The San Diego Padres and the San Diego Chargers, they have not done well as of late, but they still have true fans. And to see them not support those teams, or one team now, it's a little troubling for me because it's now leading towards, okay, where are they going to go? Where is San Diego going to land? Are they going to work out another negotiation to stay in San Diego? Or are they going to look in LA? Are they going to look in Oakland? Are they going to look in St. Louis? That's troubling for me, for a fan base that has been so vocal on, hey, we want San Diego Chargers here.
You know, as a diehard NFL fan, for some reason, the San Diego community of fandom seems very superficial to me. I just don't buy that any diehard football fans are in San Diego. And I know you guys have a pretty solid fan base, but unlike, I don't know, LA or Atlanta or Green Bay, Chargers fans, and maybe it's a culture of the team with bad coaches and bad GMs and Phillip Rivers being a great regular season quarterback but sucking balls in the regular postseason.
I'll be honest, you can't blame anything on Phillip Rivers. He's the only thing they have going for the past
Thank you.
Okay,
few years.
So maybe it's a culmination of all the bad things and Phillip Rivers being the only good thing. But whatever it is, I just don't buy that anyone's gonna lose sleep at night, or fans will lose sleep if the Chargers leave. San Diego doesn't strike me as a community that is gonna be on its deathbed if they lose that team.
I don't see it either. I think,
Oakland, the Raiders fans, I feel like I'm compassionately sad for them. Chargers, I'm like, they can go wherever. I don't think anyone's gonna care.
The fans have spoken. I mean, if I had a choice to have my taxes raised and keep the San Diego Chargers, I'd be like, see ya.
But the thing is that it's, again, I think they both saw it that way, but they're not being charged their taxes. Again, if they go and stay at a hotel, then yes, their taxes are going to be higher. But it's mainly tourists that are going to be paying that.
Yeah.
But San Diego, what have they done lately, man? This
or
team,
ever.
Right. This team is pretty bad. I mean,
it's an awful logo.
What?
I hate that logo.
The baby blue jerseys are the
they're one of the best jerseys in
any sport.
Yeah.
So generic.
and the team and the fans don't want it. So who's gonna watch you?
Right.
You know, if the fans don't want you, why would you stay anyway?
I think that they either were confused, but a lot of times when you're voting for things, you have to do some research.
Yes.
Especially with this, I think the wording was a little bit different. I may be wrong because I did not vote for that and I don't live in San Diego.
That's how it usually is, though.
But the wording is different, and so that's where, because there was so much people talking about it, maybe just my friends or the people that are fans of San Diego Chargers, saying that they want them to stay there. And then after this, it's bipolar opposite. So I'm very confused in the way that San Diego's running things. My question to you guys, if not San Diego, where?
Los Angeles.
Vegas.
Not here.
You don't think so?
Have two teams in Vegas.
What about St. Louis? St. Louis has a huge fan base, and they could land there and be just fine.
See,
where do you want them? You want them to stay
that's
in
your
San
team.
Diego?
I personally,
well, you're right there in between.
You want LA, obviously.
I want
because for you it's either way.
Yeah, my
the distance is the
heart
same.
wants them to stay in San Diego because that's where they're from.
Okay.
But as a fan of the Chargers, I would love them to be a freeway away so I could just go see them. I don't think that the Chargers want to be in LA. I don't think that they want to be the second choice for LA. The Rams chose to be here, and the Rams were like, "Oh, you guys can come on over." But then they're always going to be that second choice.
Yeah.
Like the Clippers.
Well, listen.
You think so?
Hey,
The Rams
I'll
are
take
not-
that.
I don't think the Rams have that big of a fan base right now. I think people are going to the games.
That's not true.
Okay, well, this is me as a New Yorker. I just moved here in March, so you have to educate me on this.
Okay.
Like, teach me.
I think
No, LA's happy to have
Because-
the Rams back.
Okay.
Because I mean, like there are people who were here in like the
20
'80s
years.
and the '90s, like, oh,
So
we finally
they're
got our
still
team.
fans from.
Yeah.
Now, were the Rams the second team in Los Angeles before they left?
I don't know who was here first, the
They-
Raiders, but I can't. Raiders or Rams?
I want to say the
Raiders-
Rams were here first.
before the Raiders.
But
But the Raiders were the more popular
That's what I meant,
team
yeah.
here.
Okay, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, go
No,
ahead.
well, I was gonna say, as far as the Chargers moving to St. Louis to replace the Rams not being there anymore, St. Louis strikes me as more of like a blue collar, like town. And the Chargers, to me, again, I guess a fan base can be created wherever you go, obviously.
Yeah.
But the Chargers fan base doesn't, to me, seem like it would be the kind of fan base that would travel to St. Louis, and St. Louis doesn't seem like the kind of community that would rally around an organization that hadn't done shit. First of all,
Well, St. Louis seems like a pretty cool sports town. I'm just going off of Cardinals fans, though.
Yeah, the Cardinal fans
Cardinals
are
fans are
pretty
pretty-
true, and yeah, they've done well. So
the St. Louis Chargers.
St. Louis. Oh, that doesn't sound very
St.
nice.
Louis
You don't like it?
Chargers.
That's not too bad.
Let's try this. Los Angeles Chargers.
No.
Oakland Chargers.
No.
No.
San Diego Chargers.
Yeah.
See,
Las Vegas Chargers.
We're used to that.
The Vegas Chargers.
That makes sense. Chargers and the Raiders, and then they'd be the rivals would be right
That
there
would
in
be
the same
good.
place. That would be crazy.
A lot of fights.
But I think San Diego fans they seem too laxed and laid
So
back
many
to even
fights.
care. It's a different community down there, and I think
and
they've still got sunshine going for them.
I still think that they're using the leverage of January 15th is the deadline for them to say, hey, we're going to come to LA. I think they're going to try to extend that to make San Diego and the head honchos that are making all the moves say, hey, okay, they're serious about moving to LA, and they'll build them a stadium in San Diego. That's what I'm hoping.
We don't want them. We don't want you. Guys, how's your fantasy football season going?
Nah.
Oh, just great.
Oh,
I'm
a lot better.
on a
Lot
3-game
better.
winning streak though.
My better?
Let's go.
Three and
All my
6.
teams, I have 3 teams. They're all in playoff position right now, so I'm pretty happy.
Okay.
That's good.
Yours is doing better, JJ?
I'm 3 and 6 right now.
Okay. Well, you said you're perfect except for what, one loss?
One loss, and I lost by 2 points.
Okay, well, that's not bad.
Is Phillip Rivers your quarterback?
Exactly. This is exactly why the Chargers are not going to make
Bad
it.
fantasy quarterback.
I'm 5 and 4. I don't know how are you guys out there doing. Put it in the comment section because we really want to know. It's very important because we're talking about DraftKings. DraftKings, yes. The great thing about DraftKings, guys, is that it doesn't make you do a season-long commitment. So let's say your starting running back has 2 pulled hamstrings. Let's say you had Adrian Peterson. Let's say you had Teddy Bridgewater. Is your sleeper pick that you picked up at the beginning of the season still sleeping? Well, if so, DraftKings is for you.
Did you write that?
I did not.
It's not on the paper.
It is.
not on the paper.
Well, it is actually. But I just kind of remixed it a little bit. Yeah.
DraftKings.
How about
That's
that?
pretty clever.
DraftKings, you're so clever. So, guys, if you have a messed up team, for lack of better description, it's not too late to save your season. DraftKings.com is the destination for 1 week fantasy football. No season-long commitments. You don't have to let injuries hold you back from being successful. And every single week is a new week at DraftKings.com. All you have to do is pick your contest, draft your team, and follow the action live. How do you do it? This is how you do it. And you don't have to wait. Right now, go to DraftKings.com. Use the code BSports as in Barack. We're going to miss you. As in BSports as in Barack. And play for free with your very first deposit. DraftKings.com. BSports is the code. Play for free with your very first deposit. And as we always like to say, when you win some money, send us a
Send it
check.
over.
I'm still got 0 bank
Me-
account.
hey.
And you said that they can reset every month,
Every
day,
single week. Every single week.
Yeah.
So can we do that with the presidential?
New president every week.
Can we get a do-over?
We're gonna draft the cabinet, the Supreme Court, and administration every time.
That's hilarious.
Every Thursday at 7. We should do a fantasy draft for like a new Senate House.
Could you imagine?
All right, let's talk about it
It'd be
outside.
like jury
Okay.
duty. Like,
Okay.
damn, I got
we
Senate
can't
duty
give
this
away
week.
too much inside here right now.
Right, okay. Who's next? I don't know.
Hot
JJ?
damn, basketball is back, and I'm super excited because my Lakers are 4-4, which is a big improvement from last
It's
year.
huge.
Let me tell you.
Nice.
But
Nice.
we've had some players this year.
Huge. Get it, Donald Trump.
It's huge.
And right, huge. Everything's huge. Everything's great.
Tremendous.
Everything's
Tremendous.
tremendous. But he never really says anything.
Tremendous is a tremendous record. The Lakers have a tremendous record.
But I'm
He's a straight
partial.
shooter. He's a
I'm
straight
partial
shooter.
to the Lakers for sure. But there are other good teams who have really made a a stamp on this season so far. And so I got a few questions here for you guys. Namely, number one is, so far in this season, that we're about 8-10 games in.
Yeah.
Who do you have as your top 3 NBA teams
Clippers.
right now?
Can I go first?
Right now.
Go,
Go first.
J-Rod.
In order: Cavaliers,
Cavaliers.
Clippers,
Hey.
Warriors.
Cavaliers, Clippers, Warriors.
Yep.
Warriors.
Yeah, still.
Okay.
I think we can all agree on the Cavs though, and being number
Yeah,
one.
for
right?
sure.
Okay, Cavaliers, Clippers. I got Cavs, Clippers too. A different number 3. Who do you got?
Who's your 3?
Who you got?
Cavs, Clippers, and Charlotte.
Cavs,
wow.
Clippers. You like Charlotte. You like Charlotte.
I like Charlotte too.
haven't
I
seen
just don't
them
think
this
they're for real. I don't think they're going to sustain it.
They're not. I have Clippers first, actually.
Clippers?
I have Clippers, Cavs, then Rockets.
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 That's interesting
Clippers,
because
Cavs,
Harden
and
has turned.
Rockets.
I got Clippers, Cavs, and I got Thunder.
Really?
I got Thunder.
You think they're going to sustain this?
I think Westbrook is gonna average a triple double this
Okay.
year, and I think they can sustain it. Yes. Yes, I think they can sustain it.
I think Westbrook's going to burn out eventually.
Thank you.
He's
Well,
a-
if he's gonna burn, then Harden's gonna burn out, and you
fair.
can't.
That's fair. That's
You know
fair.
who else is going to burn
Okay.
out? The Warriors.
Yeah, but I think we agree on that.
But you had them third, right?
Yeah,
I
I-
didn't have them third. They lost to the Lakers, so I can't.
I just mean in general. I'm not really looking at the records, just based off of like talent and where their potential is. The Clippers look really good though.
They do look
They
good.
look really
I
good.
got them as number 2.
They do, and I think the difference with the Clippers this season, I've been like Doc Rivers. I love him. I loved him in Boston. I think he took Vinny Del Negro's ability to build a great bench and killed that. And I think that's what has been the downfall of Doc for the past few years. Our bench. It has had no one except for Jamal. But this year, the bench looks like they can take down any foe.
But why do you put them over the Cavs?
She's a,
Is it a
because
matter
she's
of
a
preference?
Clippers fan.
Or
I
is
don't know
it-
if that's I don't know if that's like a subliminal homer thing. It could be maybe because I haven't really watched the Cavs play at all. Maybe because the Cavs just lost to the lowly Hawks. I don't know.
Lowly.
The lowly.
Hawks are 6-2.
Yeah, but
yeah, the
I
Hawks
mean the
are
Hawks
good
are
this
the
year.
Hawks are gonna be a 4th seed. They do this every single year. Don't be fooled
Okay,
by the
before
Hawks.
she's at lowly. Lowly to me is like Knicks.
Well, it's lowly to me when
those Knicks
the
are-
Hawks do the same thing the Clippers do every year. We make it, and I say we mean the Clippers, but the Hawks, make it to playoffs. They look like they're going to be so good. They're going to have a deep run, and then they
Yeah.
get kicked out first or second round. So I'm saying like don't.
Okay.
They got
Okay.
Howard.
That's why I call the Hawks
Howard's
lowly.
back in town. The home.
And Howard's
home
lowly,
slice.
the lowliest of them all.
I think he has a chance this year to rejuvenate his himself, his game,
Okay.
hopefully
I
his personality, his perception to the public. Next question: who's your All NBA starting 5? I need 5 players.
Okay.
Give me 5. Who wants to go first?
I don't have that.
What? Point guard. At
You
point
haven't been
guard.
watching basketball?
I have been, but
At point guard, I'm still going to take Russell Westbrook over Harden because Russell plays both ends of the floor.
Wait, are we talking all time?
no, just
We're
right,
talking about
was like,
this
right
season,
now,
right
now.
At this point in this season.
Obviously, you got,
I gotta leave now.
we're
It's time
gonna
to
put
go.
LeBron at small forward, right?
See, I didn't know where to put LeBron.
We'll just say small. Forward.
Yeah, I knew.
We're gonna say small forward.
Yeah.
I didn't even include LeBron. Nope, I didn't.
Really?
I didn't do it.
How could you
Why?
I didn't do it. I got Durant at small forward.
Oh, but you can have both.
not? No,
Well,
wait.
no, because I got Davis. I got Anthony Davis.
Center.
I got DeMarcus Cousins.
You could put Anthony. You could put Anthony at the 4. You could
I
put
got
Anthony at the
DeMarcus
4.
Cousins. You could. He's interchangeable.
I put Anthony at the 4.
How do you leave LeBron off of an All NBA team? He's the best player in the world.
He is the best player in the
Yeah,
world.
I think it was kind of a matter of.
You're being a hater. I say CP3, obviously.
See,
Over Russ?
Heck yeah. Because let me tell you.
but you saying over Russ, but I think you can interchange Harden and Russ, even though Harden is technically a point guard this
Yeah,
year.
right.
But I still see them as interchangeable
Okay.
in the positions, shooting guard.
Wait, don't
point
they
guard.
do guard, forward? Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Okay,
Guard,
got you.
guard.
So
Okay.
2 guards, 3 forwards. Bam, go.
Okay, I say CP3. I'm gonna say LeBron as my small forward. I put Kawhi down, but I don't know as well.
Yes,
I
yes!
just put him down, but I just didn't know where to put him.
Forward.
Okay, so CP3, Kawhi, LeBron, DJ is the best defensive center. Like the analysts are going crazy over DeAndre right now.
Right.
So you got Kawhi as your 2.
Yeah, so CP, Kawhi, LeBron. My 4 is I don't know, and my 5 is DJ.
No Harden, no Westbrook.
No,
Harden, Westbrook, LeBron, Kawhi, Anthony Davis.
Whoa.
I'll take Anthony for my 4.
Mine's the same as what you
Hey.
So like, I'm gonna copy yours.
Did you put it together? Did you even write it down? Did you put it together, Charlie?
I mean,
But who's on a tear though more than Westbrook, Harden, Anthony Davis? These guys are killing
Yeah,
it
they
so
are.
far.
Well-
You know who else is killing it? It's coming later.
was-
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I feel bad for Anthony Davis.
Oh, me too.
Because he's on an awful team.
Well,
Trade Melo to the New
yeah,
Orleans, please.
but I just don't understand why don't they.
I don't care about Melo. I just want Anthony Davis.
I understand why they don't use him as leverage because he's a star and they want to
paid him
build
a
around.
lot of money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he's gonna be there.
why don't they just trade him away and get some
they're
young
waiting
talent
on
with it?
who are they waiting? Who's injured? Isn't Tyreek Evans? They're waiting on Tyreek
Yeah,
Evans.
Tyreek's out. Drew Holiday.
Drew
Holiday's
Holiday's taking care of
out.
his wife.
That's a horrible situation. Yeah.
Even when they come back, though, I don't see them doing.
Lance Stevenson. I heard he was having a
much.
decent
Oh,
year.
yeah, I forgot
They
about
waived
Lance.
him. Yeah, they waived
Oh, they
him.
did. Yeah, they're waving him.
Yeah, they waived him. Hurt.
And you you keep talking about Harden and Westbrook having such phenomenal numbers, but see that's what I think gives CP the advantage because he hasn't had an opportunity. He hasn't had to have those numbers because our bench is so good. He's able to rest. He hasn't really had to play any fourth quarters.
It's not just the bench too. It's just his role on the team too. He doesn't need to do everything.
But there have been years where he has had to have his butt out there, like from the rooter to the tutor, from the beginning to the end. And I think that the numbers that Harden and Westbrook are putting up is that's a testament to how they are all that their team has.
I don't see
I agree.
CP3 doing that when playing the same amount of time in the same role as Harden and Westbrook. I don't see him doing that. I think he's a tad bit older and slower, and
No, he is. He's right. I will say this though: CP3 in D'Antoni's system will put up some crazy stats. I don't know if he'll put up as many points as Harden, but he'll definitely match him or top him in assists. Because in my mind, I think CP3 is the best playmaker at the point guard position.
Okay.
all right. What do you guys got for best backcourt duo? I got Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum.
I agree with you.
Are you even after the other night?
Yeah, it's just a game. It's a game.
Those guys bust their butt,
Y'all, but they have not looked.
and they're not afraid against some top teams. They're not afraid.
Those are some bad men.
Yeah.
Because Russ don't have anybody with him.
He doesn't.
CP3
Russell
don't have anybody with him.
He doesn't. James,
Harden don't have-
nobody.
Kyrie don't really have anybody.
Uh,
JR.
What about
Wall
the
and
Warriors?
Beal, Wall and
I don't like
Beal,
Wall and Beal.
or
What?
Steph and
Steph-
Clay.
Steph and Clay.
Clay's struggling right now.
Clay is struggling, man. And we're talking about up to the season so far.
Yeah.
He had a good game last night, I think, but
I don't know. I can't.
Yeah, he did.
Who's Lakers backcourt?
D'Angelo.
it's
and-
D'Angelo and
Ingram?
Clarkson's off
No.
the bench, right?
Clarkson's off the bench.
I don't have-
Lou's off the bench. It's D'Angelo and Young.
What's
Nick Young.
what's Toronto's?
Nick Young's
Kyle
killing
Lowry.
it.
I don't know if DeRozan's
Love.
considered a shooting guard though.
Lowry and DeRozan. Yeah.
What
I
about
don't-
what about the Celtics,
And the Celtics
or
and
the
Isaiah
Hawks?
Thomas and,
Bradley.
yeah.
Bradley. They're actually both having good years though. Nah, I'm taking.
I
Lillard.
still take Lillard and McCollum.
Who's
Yeah.
backcourt? I will not. Who's backcourt at Sacramento?
She's trying. Oh no, not Rondo anymore.
He's
It's,
gone.
Ty Lawson and I don't even know to be honest with you.
San Antonio.
Parker.
Parker and
Parker's old, washed.
Parker and who?
He's washed.
Kawhi.
No.
I don't know. I have
It's
nothing.
Portland.
Yeah,
It's
it's
Portland.
I'm not gonna
It's
vote.
Portland.
Have your voice heard.
Not voting.
Well, the picture we have up now, Giannis Antetokounmpo, is
Most underrated player in the league right now.
yes, he is on a tear himself.
Yeah.
I got him for one of my MVP candidates.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I do respect that.
But who's his backcourt?
Jabari. No, Jabari's a small forward. Giannis. Oh, Dellavedova starts.
Deli.
yeah.
I like
Oh,
Deli.
Deli.
I like Deli.
Deli's not bad in fantasy, actually. Fantasy
he's okay.
basketball.
Yeah,
Fantasy
he's-
basketball?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
I've been
draft,
playing.
I actually do DraftKings.
Yeah, fantasy.
Of course you do. You wouldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
Of course.
This basketball is easier when it's like DraftKings, but
Yeah.
when it's a full season, it's too much.
It's
But I can
every day.
play in and out when I want.
Yeah.
That's great. So I got for my MVP candidates. I've got Harden, Westbrook, and Antetokounmpo.
You know, I gotta agree with you. I hate agreeing because I think it makes the show a little boring.
Right,
but
right.
I agree with him.
Okay.
No.
Go ahead. Go. No.
Blake Griffin, 3.
Blake.
Blake
yeah.
Griffin.
Yeah.
I say this is CP's year. I'm taking all the homer picks here.
Oh God.
This is,
Take Blake.
But you
what?
realistically though.
No, realistically, realistically, this is a different team, a different year, a better bench. I think he's gonna be healthy because he's not gonna have as much responsibility. So I'm gonna say CP, LeBron, always in the conversation.
He will at the end of the year be at the yes.
Yeah, CP,
You think he's gonna take it at the end of the
LeBron,
year?
I don't think he's gonna take it, but he'll be in the conversation along with Kawhi.
and Kawhi. That's what I was gonna say.
For
CP,
some
Kawhi.
reason, he's not as remarkable. Like he has a team around him.
Who you got,
that's-
Charlie, for
that's
your
good.
3
Yeah.
MVP?
Westbrook.
Yeah.
Probably Durant. And
That's tough.
it's a tough one, but I see him pulling through at the end.
How do you-
And then
ooh.
Kawhi.
Kawhi. Yeah.
How do you make Durant MVP on a team full of?
You don't.
That's why.
Players like
That's
that.
why I think Westbrook and Harden right now they're doing everything for their teams, and their teams are playing well. You have to have them as 1 and 2.
Yeah.
interchangeable.
What about your MVPs in the NFL, J-Rod?
NFL MVP. Now I want to ask you guys because right now all the pundits are trying to decide between Brady, Matt Ryan.
Why are you pointing at me?
I know what you're gonna say.
What, Matthew Stafford?
No, you're a
Derek
Dak
Carr.
rider.
No, Dak. No.
Dak rider. Woo.
I am a Dak rider.
So I was gonna ask you guys so far. I mean, we're almost what 3/4, not yet, but almost.
What was week 10?
Week 9? Wait,
10.
week 10.
Yeah,
Week
we're
10,
almost
we did
there.
that, yeah.
So who's your NFL MVP so far, guys?
Derek Carr.
My man.
Raiders.
My man.
They're actually fun to watch. Like, the
man.
Raiders are fun to
Yeah.
watch.
We've been
What-
waiting so long. For
What
this.
happened to them? They like literally blew out of nowhere.
But Derek Carr has been there from his rookie year. He's been creeping up further along.
I'll say-
Derek Carr has been there.
Out of all the candidates, he doesn't have the most impressive numbers. He has 2,505 yards. He has 17 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and 99.1 QBR. But I feel like this is a case where stats are lying. Because I do think he's the heart and soul of that team.
He
He's a
is.
leader. They're 7-2.
He gets them going.
Right now, if I had to cast a vote, it would be Derek Carr, and I do think Matthew Stafford would be second. to me.
Stafford.
Let me
that's-
tell
that
you.
He's doing so much with so little.
So much with like Golden Tate and Matthew Stafford is all we got.
Come on.
Like, and you know, again, I'm doing the Homer pick through and through, and of course I'm not a Lions fan, but the
The
Bulldogs.
reason why I'm not going Brady is because they
Good luck,
went
Tom.
3-1
Sick of-
without him, so you're
Yeah.
not as valuable.
True.
And you can't come in there. Can you,
You
really
can't
give
say
him-
the most valuable after your team just went 3-1
but
without
Tom
you.
Brady's 39 years old. And
I get that, and he might be the best quarterback in the league. I'm not disputing that,
Okay.
but it's not best player in the league award. It's most valuable player.
And do you think they give it to him after being out 4 games?
Yes.
You think they will?
I think
Even
so.
after this, you go 3-1 without him. That shows how valuable you are to the team. They went 3-1 without you.
I think if we're talking about
That's an
another
argument
player
right
that
there.
was not Tom, if we're talking about a Cam Newton or another quarterback, but Tom Brady has the NFL by the balls. Like they pander to him. Like he is Mr. NFL.
Right.
So yeah, he missed 4 games and he went 3-1 without him. He's not as valuable to that team as.
That's the main argument. How
But
valuable?
as Tom Brady,
Okay.
he gets preferential treatment.
And I do think it's foolish to say that he's not. Obviously, he's so effing valuable to that team. But
40 years
the
old.
simple fact that they went
They went
3-1 without him,
Tom Brady.
it's almost you can't say that he's the most valuable player.
For
in the
a
league.
different player, I think I think that argument would have more weight.
I go Carr,
What?
Stafford, and then Matt Ryan. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. You finish.
I say Matt Ryan goes third for me just as simply like he has Julio Jones, and I think that Julio can take some heat off of.
And Matt Ryan is he had so much promise, and then his I guess that promise waned, especially when
bit.
a lot of it. But now he's back. This is the renaissance of what we thought he could be, and I mean I'm very impressed. I mean
What's their record?
6-3.
6-3, yeah. He has 2,980 passing yards,
Yep.
23 touchdowns. But the thing with Matt Ryan and the
That's
Falcons,
ridiculous.
like they're gonna have to win the NFC South, I think, for him to lock down.
I still think they will. And my thing with Matt is that he has help. He has
Panthers,
Julio.
Saints,
His backfield's
Tampa Bay.
good.
Yeah, they will. I mean,
Yeah.
the NFC South right now leaves a lot to be desired with the Panthers doing so poorly and the Saints doing average.
Who do you guys take, Matt Ryan or Drew Brees?
Right now, Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan right now.
At this stage, and Drew's still playing well.
He's
though.
solid.
But I think he's on the downward.
But he's been solid for them even when they're
No, he has
losing.
been.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with either one,
Yeah.
but I personally would take Ryan this year.
Who you got, Charlie? You're wait, you said Derek.
Yeah, Derek
Derek
Carr.
Carr.
But talk to me after this week. I want to see the matchup between Tom Brady and the Seattle Seahawks.
That's a good game.
And so if he does well against them, I'm gonna.
Well, I mean, that's
Go
the
the other
thing.
way.
I mean, he can do as well as he wants for the rest of the year. The simple fact is they won 3 games without him.
Again, I just think that argument about Tom Brady not being there for the first 4 games holds little weight because it's Tom Brady. I really do.
So you're saying his name holds more weight?
Yes, it does. The same way-
than him being valuable to the
Right.
team.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the politics of the NFL. The same way Cam Newton had to cry to the referees to get them to pay attention to the fact that he's getting beat up every week. Like, I think that your tenure in the league and your name and your cachet that you bring to the game and to the brand of the NFL plays into your accolades. And I think that Tom Brady will be in that top conversation, whether or not he deserves to be.
He will be.
Despite the
but
fact
you
that
can't.
he missed the first 4 games.
His
Can't give it to him, though.
numbers are outrageous.
Yeah, so
They're ridiculous, and they are undefeated without him.
Yeah.
And obviously he's very valuable
Yeah.
to the team. But
I'm saying this.
I'm not a Tom Brady fan. Don't get it twisted. I'm just putting it out.
I'm saying
there.
this to make fun of you because you said it yesterday.
What?
Tom Brady doesn't win MVP. They're racist.
Hey,
What?
did you guys see the Richard Sherman hit on the kicker? What'd you guys
Oh, Richard Sherman. Then the kicker's wife called
Kicker's
him
wife.
a monster and said that
Castration.
castration. Yeah. I think her name is Kayla Carpenter.
Kayla Carpenter,
Kayla
yeah.
Carpenter. Richard Sherman. I don't know if it was an accident or whatever. I mean, you can't tackle
I
the kicker.
can't tell. I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
I saw a freeze frame. His hand was on the ball. Like he did go for the ball.
Yeah.
That's the argument for him. I think is
I don't
that
know.
he was going for the ball.
But yeah, Kayla got in. She did an Aisha. Remember Aisha got in her feelings on Twitter last year during the
Oh my
finals
God, yeah.
and was talking about how it was rigged or whatever. So Kayla basically did the same thing, except she said that Richard Sherman was a monster for hitting her husband that way, and that he deserved to be castrated. Now look,
Like they do down on the farm with
with-
unruly animals.
yeah, or slaves.
I mean, at least she's speaking out. I do have to defend her in this. At least she's speaking out. Most football wives or basketball wives, they won't do anything. They just sit on the back.
Well,
and
who
just
was the
take
one
the
last
money.
season who spoke out for
you gotta pick your words a little bit more carefully than
It's
that.
2016. You do.
Stuff my money in
Unless
there.
you're Trump. Unless you're Trump, then you can be president.
Right. Well, you know what? That's a very good point. Now that we have a president who talks about grabbing pussies and Mexicans being deported and Muslims being deported and black men being stopped.
He
in prison.
doesn't mean it.
Kayla Carpenter. Kayla Carpenter. The floor is yours to talk about athletes, black men, other men being animals, monsters, and deserving to be castrated because your president supports that rhetoric. You got the right idea, girl. We like you.
That's gonna be a very interesting 4 years. Oh my goodness.
I know we talked about this in the beginning. I just have to end with it. The president is going to change. My grandmother told me this, and I thought it was perfect advice. The president that we have is not going to change you.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to change you. Your views are going to change you. Your views are going to change the world. The president is not going to do that.
I agree with you.
I agree.
Well, thanks, guys, for joining us for another awesome episode of Sports Weekly every Thursday night at 7 o'clock on BHL. And I'm going to piggyback on that and say that I have been very inspired this week to give back more, to do more for philanthropy, to do more active, community service, Boys and Girls Club, going back and reaching back to little girls particularly who look like me, who want to do what I do. I think is, like you said, is very important to be that person. And this week has really put a fire in my ass to do that. I'm Erica Renee Davis. You can find me on Instagram, Insta Story, and Twitter at Erica Renee D.
Hey guys, this is Charlie Myers. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm going to say it again. Hashtag not my president.
Oh, I thought we were going to all hold hands.
Kumbaya. Kumbaya.
Anyways, guys, I'm Joshua Johnson. Find me on social media at JJ the Talented. Each one, reach one.
I am Josh Rodriguez. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh_Rodriguez_. Would love to debate with you guys, so hit me up.
Cal exit.
As always, follow all things BlackHollywoodLive.com. Follow us on Twitter at BHL Online. Follow us on Instagram at The Sports Weekly. And until next week, y'all protest, but non-violently.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Keven Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.